With the problem data entered, the user is directed to the input page. Here, all of it is displayed in a matrix format, ensuring a proper visualization of the information. In addition, for the problems of choice and ranking, the user can define the equivalence threshold as a reference for the interference between a pair of alternatives. Initially, a standard value is displayed by the system, and it is up to the user to change if it is desired. The next steps correspond to the ordering of the criteria scales constants. In this procedure, the ordering of the criteria scales constants can be done through pairwise comparison and overall evaluation. In the pairwise comparison, consequence comparison charts between different criteria are displayed, and the preferable consequence must be chosen by the decision maker. The first scenario presents a fictitious alternative with the best consequence in one criterion and the worst in the others, while the other scenario shows another fictitious alternative with the best consequence in another criterion and all the others with the worst performance. In the overall evaluation, the criteria should be ordered according to the preference of the decision maker. For this, a graph is displayed containing a fictitious alternative with the worst consequence in all the criteria, and the decision maker must choose, one by one, the consequence that should be raised to the maximum performance. The sequence chosen will result in the ordering of the criteria weights. In both cases, the chosen order is displayed as the questions are answered throughout the process, and at any time there is a possibility to restart it or change the form of evaluation. After ordering the weights of the criteria, the flexible elicitation begins. A page containing the partial results is displayed to the decision maker. After analyzing the results, it can be chosen to follow the elicitation through elicitation by decomposition or holistic evaluation. This page presents different views that change according to each problematic. The elicitation by decomposition does not differ between the problems. There, elements in the space of consequence are compared using two graphs. The first is an intermediate consequence for a criterion, better positioned in the ranking, while the others are in the worst consequences. The second graph displays the best consequence for a subsequent criterion and the worst performance in the others. Then, the user must choose which consequence is preferable, if both are indifferent or if for some reason is not wanted to answer the question, along with the reason for this. For problems with discrete criteria, there is the elicitation of intermediate levels that just occurs if during the elicitation by decomposition, more information is needed to define the predilection of the decision maker. A screen is displayed in which elements in the space of consequence are compared. The first paragraph corresponds to some intermediate level of a discrete criterion, and the second graph the best performance of another criterion, where the intermediate levels of discrete criterion will be varied. In both screens, the option of viewing partial results is available, and when analyze the results, the decision maker can choose between continue the elicitation by decomposition, switch to holistic evaluation, or end the decision process.